Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys a twin flame reading, but today's reading is going to be a shadow reading. So this is actually a reading that I offer in my Etsy shop. It's called Shadow Self. It's 30 minutes, but usually it's just done for one person. So it's the person that is wanting to get the reading or maybe the person that they want to inquire about. But I'm going to go ahead and do the divine masculine and feminine today within this outline. So we'll hopefully keep it around 30 minutes, but we shall see. Today I'm using the Zombie Tarot. I'm using the Raven's Prophecy Tarot as well as the Vampire Tarot, all darker, shadowy decks. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use for the Divine Feminine, the Vampire Tarot, and then I'm going to use for the Divine Masculine energy, the Raven's Prophecy, and then the Zombie Tarot I'll use for the Union energy. So let's go ahead as usual, and we'll start with the Divine Masculine energy. I'm not going to read reversals today. I didn't read them yesterday. I'm just not feeling it today either. It's funny, when I first started reading tarot, I was really obsessed with, reverse meanings. And and it doesn't mean that I won't do them now, but as time goes on, I don't know. It's like I just enjoy doing the upright position and then reading just the dynamics of both. I don't know. So this first position is the skeleton, which means the core issues. So this is the core issues within the shadow of the divine masculine. So this is current energy. Remember, just take what resonates and get rid of the rest. This is a general reading. I don't know why this one just wants to pop out, so that's what we're going to take it. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine, we have the Page of Coins energy here. So that's, Page of Pentacles. So for his core issue, that core issue, which could be an indication of, for the masculine, is where he is at currently right now, could be where he's at financially in the world, his ideas, his money-making ideas, what he has going on as far as his career is concerned, or his self-worth in the world. So it's connected to Pentacles, which is connected to the physical world. So that could just be a core issue for him right now, where he's just really feeling like he's in the dark in regards to what he's doing with his life, if he can provide, if he's good enough, etc. Self-worth. For the Divine Feminine, what are her core issues at this time? Wow, this is a really slippery deck. So this is what I'm going to do. Core issues for the Divine Feminine at this time. Ooh, the Seven of Cups, Seven of Grails. Look at this cool card. Okay, so the Seven of Cups is a card of confusion. It's also a card of fantasy. So what the core issue right now for the Divine Feminine is feeling very indecisive, feeling like she's not sure, what's fact, what's fiction. So there could just be a lot of confusion. This Zombie Tarot I'm going to be using for the Union energy. So what's the core issue for the Union right now? But yeah, that Seven of Grails is really just a card where we have a lot of things going on. It could have to do with like a lot of choices as well. So some Divine Feminines right now may have a lot of choices to make. They may have several suitors in their lives. They might be in a karmic relationship or a soulmate relationship that maybe they don't want to be in anymore. And so that could also be a state of causing them some sort of confusion at this time as well. But really, it, to me, speaks of fantasy and unrealistic thinking. So for some of them, they may just have way too much water going on in their minds, and it's creating an issue for them. So they don't quite know what to do. What's going on with the Union? Core issue of the Union at this time. Wow, the core issue of the Union is the Eight of Swords. Look at that card. These cards are so cool. This deck I really don't use a lot because it's more of a novelty deck, but I don't know, I just felt like using it this time. Eight of Swords, as you guys know, is a card. So this is Union core energy, as in it's stuck. So for some of you, now remember, this is a shadow reading, so we're going to really showcase a lot of the darker things. And with all the stuff that's happened with the moon lately, I think it's brought out a lot of these core issues. And so I think it's a perfect time to do this. So some of you may be feeling this, some of you may have been feeling this and you're coming out of it. So please don't take this as this is, something that's you're doomed. All these things can be changed at any time. So I'm just going to read it one more time. So the Page of Coins here is for the Divine Masculine. His core issue could just be his self-worth issues and what he's doing in the material world at this present time. The Seven of Cups energy coming up for the Divine Feminine is she could be in a fantasy world. She could be having a hard time differentiating between fact and fiction. She could have a lot of choices. There could be a lot of unrealistic things going on in her mind, or she just feels mentally confused. So this could be a core issue for her. Maybe she has some sort of unrealistic expectation when it comes to the Divine Masculine or when it comes to this particular relationship, but it could just be her own personal energy. The Eight of Swords, though, for that union energy core issue, as in things are stuck. So reading is really going to be for people that are automatically resonating with this. So if you're not resonating with this, it's probably best to not even watch this any further. So, you can stay around, of course, for the other, positions, but, as a whole, what I always say is that within the first 5 minutes of a reading, if it's not resonating with you, it's probably because it's not for you, okay? But Eight of Swords energy here is this particular Divine Masculine and Feminine could be in a period of being just stuck. They're just stuck. And because of this, it's being stuck because of your own personal choices. You choose to be stuck. People are choosing to be blind. They're choosing to not get out of a situation. They're choosing whatever that is. So it could be that the Divine Masculine and Feminine are both in outside situations where they are having a hard time getting rid of those situations or getting unstuck from those situations for this to be a successful union. But this could be due to the union, as in there's people that are making a decision to stay connected to this union. Even though they don't have to stay connected to it, they might be remaining stuck because they're living in a fantasy land, or they're just a little unrealistic about their particular Divine Masculine. Possibly this Divine Masculine needs to grow up and get a shit together. This is a page, not a knight or a king. So this is somebody who is possibly not mature enough in the 3D world. They're not worthy enough of this Divine Feminine at this particular time because they have a lot more growing to do. So this Divine Feminine could be a little bit unrealistic with her expectations as to where the Divine Masculine truly is. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't have potential to become a better person, but maybe she's unrealistic in the sense of this actually working right now. Maybe it can't work right now because there's still shit that needs to be figured out. So maybe the Divine Feminine needs to unleash herself from this expectation or this connection for the time being, so this person can do what he needs to do in order to become a better person for himself and for his Divine Feminine and for the relationship. That's just what's coming through. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look here at the attachments. This is the Mummy, the attachments of the Divine Masculine. So this is the things that he's attached to currently, things that he may have a hard time releasing right now that are preventing him from moving forward in a positive direction. Wow, those cards don't fan out that well at all. Okay. Three of Cups. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because, for a lot of the readings that I've done on the Divine Masculines, especially in 2017, we're really very much in this energy of like lovers triangles or people that are just kind of like, they've got a couple of situations going on. It might be the Divine Feminine and someone else, but this could also be that this person is just really not into real deep commitments right now. So they're just really having a great time. They're partying it up. They might be overindulging. They might just be in social situations. It's just not a real deep card to me. There's nothing really wrong with it, but when we're talking about attachments, this could be in the sense that it's an actual negative, as in he's attached to situations or another person that might not be that great for him. He's attached to the partying of a situation or the social aspects or the glamour in a situation. Maybe he is just so attached to the way that the admiration of the outside world makes him feel. He feels alive when he's in these social situations, a social butterfly, or somebody who's just partying it up and they just basically are medicating themselves even, okay? Or they love playing the field. They love all the attention that's around them right now. They're not into that one person that's in front of them. They want it all. They want a bunch of attention. So that's actually coming across here as a negative for the Divine Masculine. Somebody who is attached to possibly the attention of others, partying it up, and not really dealing with reality. That's just the card that comes up there. It could also be family attachments as well. So these are some divine masculines that may be negatively tied to their family and the expectations, or the people that are around them, their friends or their colleagues, people that they care about what they think. And so unfortunately, because that a negative attachment, they're unable to move forward and do the things that they would like to do because they are afraid of what others are going to think of them. That's something else that's coming through. So what about the divine feminine? Okay, so these 3 cards came up for some reason, so we're going to go ahead and take them. So the attachments for the divine feminine here, we have the Daughter of Grails, which is the Page of Cups. We also have the 9 of Swords, 9 of Knives, and we also have the Prince of Cups. So what I'm really getting here, I think it's really interesting that we just talked about this 3 of Cups energy, as in the divine masculine could be involved with the divine feminine and someone else perhaps. So I know that there's a lot of people that have divine masculines that are in karmic relationships. So this could be a message for you. Okay, it's not the only message, but this could be a message for some of you. The Daughter of Grails could be either you or that other woman. The Prince of Grails, which is your divine masculine, all coming up as cups. This could be water signs we're talking about, but please don't get stuck on that. And then the 9 of Knives is how everybody feels about it. Everybody feels like it sucks because it brings a lot of anxiety. It brings a lot of fears. People are literally, they can't sleep at night. They feel guilty, whatever it is. It's just like nobody wins. And then we have these people that feel alone. So to me, I see 2 women and I see a man here. Divine masculine and the 2 women that he's dealing with, and somebody is asked out. That's her. So whether that's you divine feminines or that's the other person, somebody feels very alone. Somebody is very unhappy with this situation. So why is this coming up for the divine feminine when it comes to her attachments? Because she may be very attached to the situation, as in she may be so unhappy that she doesn't know how to get out of the situation. She remains stuck. She remains shackled to the situation. Even though she doesn't want to feel this way, she remains stuck. She's attached to it. She's still attached to it. This could even be for people that have already removed themselves from this lover's triangle, yet they still remain attached to it in an unhealthy way. So this is how they're suffering. They're suffering in the silence. They're suffering in this pain. They can't sleep at night. They're having nightmares. They're having anxiety. They're having stress. It's affecting them on a physical level now. It's affecting them on an anxiety. Maybe they're even depressed now because of it. So for some of you divine feminines, this is really a message for you that if you're still attached to this very unhealthy lover's triangle situation, it's telling you that it might be time to cut the cord. I'm not saying that you got to get rid of the divine masculine or stop, caring for him, but you may need to unhealthily detach yourself from this lover's triangle, as in maybe it's time to tell your divine masculine, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be a part of this anymore. I'm not waiting, or you take care of yourself for a while and you just detach possibly. I'm not telling anybody to do that, but if that feels right for you, that might be what you need to do. This Daughter of Grails here, though, but could be you as well, as in you're the Page of Grails. To me, I just see innocence here. So not everybody involved in a lover's triangle, the other person is evil. The other person is horrible. She may be an innocent victim such as you, okay? So for some of you, your anger may be misplaced as well. This may be more of your divine masculine's responsibility to do the right thing and to stop doing this to both of you, okay? Some may just need to eliminate the divine masculine altogether. I mean, these are messages for a variety of people, so take it as it resonates, okay? But all I'm saying here is that this is coming across as a negative attachment. Nobody is winning, nobody is happy, or at least someone is winning and somebody is not. So whoever that is, it is attached to a lover's triangle here, or this situation. Now, if it is not a lover's triangle, because we did see this lover's triangle here, it's very, very connected. If it is not a lover's triangle, and this is just you and your divine masculine, there's no third party. Regardless, it doesn't matter. This is what your experience here in this situation. You feel alone. Either your divine masculine is not reaching out to you, or there is no communication happening between the two of you, or he says he cares, yet he is not in your life. This is how you feel. You're suffering now. You're suffering in silence. So something has to change, as in the way that you are attached unhealthily in your mind towards the situation. Maybe it's your own negative thinking. Maybe you're creating the self-fulfilling prophecy within yourself that it is a nightmare. So that needs to change. Your attachment to the unhealthiness of the obsession about this connection, that might have to change. So there's a lot of things that need to be released in order for this dynamic to change, so that way you can feel like you're in a much better state. Same thing with your divine masculine, same thing. But what I'm seeing for the divine masculine is that he's quite comfortable to be in this situation. Sorry to say, you guys, he's quite comfortable. That's for the Lover's Triangle. I'm also seeing though, if this is just you and him and there is nobody else, I'm seeing that he's quite comfortable to just be casual right now with you, or just in life. He's quite comfortable just to be single. I'm not seeing him really desiring to be in a committed, deep relationship. That doesn't apply to everybody, but that's just some of the messages that are coming through, okay? So let's go ahead now and take a look at the actual union, okay? The attachments of the union. What's the union attachment? The Four of Swords. I swear I almost thought that was the Three of Swords. I was going to die. Okay, so the Four of Swords here to me is the union energy. The union energy here for the attachments, this has to do with people that are just kind of like pulling away. They're at a distance. They're taking a time out. They need time to recuperate. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing here as far as like the attachment energy. That's what almost like where people feel right now, where there's not a lot going on, or this is something that they need to do in order to rejuvenate, as in pull away. That's the answer for this. Pull away from this Lover's Triangle. Pull away from the Divine Masculine if he is in this energy. Take better care of yourself. There's time to rejuvenate your soul. So if you've been putting a lot of time and energy into this and you're not really getting anywhere and you're just continuing to feel like shit, it's time for you to pull away and get into this Four of Swords energy. That's just what's coming through here. So to me, it's just really more of like an advice card on how to deal with this current energy that you might feel very unhealthily attached to at the moment. Okay. Moving on, let's see. Now we're going into the costume, which is the mask you hide behind. So this is the mask that the Divine Masculine hides behind right now. This is where he's quite comfortable being, where he's not being his authentic self. Sorry, my cats are just dying to get into this room, but I'm not letting them in because they're just going to jump all over the place. Wow, this deck is really, really bent up. Okay. The mask he hides behind. The mask that he hides behind is the Nine of Cups. Very interesting. Okay, so to me, it doesn't really matter. Yes, the Nine of Cups is one of the best cards in the deck, people will tell you. And it is. It's a great card. But to me, it's still a 9. 9s to me are cards where people are just kind of like to themselves. They're quite happy and content to be alone. Not always, but this Nine of Cups energy to me tells me that some of the Divine Masculines may be hiding behind this mask, as in, I'm perfectly fine to be alone. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of my own needs and my own happiness. Okay, I'm going to have to let the cats in. That's ridiculous. Get in. Sorry about that. Okay. So the Nine of Cups, like I was saying, that this is a Divine Masculine who may be just saying, I'm quite content to be single and alone. I've got everything that I need. I can provide my own happiness, etc. And that's a great attitude to be in because that's healthy, right? But we're talking about a mask that he's hiding behind. So this is actually a front. So I believe that why this is coming up for some Divine Masculines is because that may be something that they're saying to you or something that you're seeing right now. You're on social media. You're looking at them like they got it going on. They're so happy. They're fine without you. The whole thing. That's why it's coming up as a mask, okay? Now, it's not suggesting that the Divine Masculine is miserable. It's not suggesting that the Divine Masculine isn't embodying some of these things. But don't always believe what you see is what Spirit's saying right now. Don't always fall into that trap of the glitter of social media. You gotta love it. And anybody can be anybody they want on social media. That's the thing. You can post all these pictures and it looks like you have the perfect life. So try not to fall into that if you guys are seeing this in your Divine Masculines. I'm not saying that things aren't good for him, but don't fall into the trap of he has everything that he wants, or that person that he moved on from you. Oh, it's the answer to his prayers, his dreams coming true. You know, he was miserable with you and now he's happy with them. Try not to fall into that trap. But I'm also seeing that the Divine Masculine may use this as a way to keep himself from having a close, intimate relationship, is that he can provide for his own needs. It's like he won't let anybody else in. He won't let anybody else try to provide for him. He feels that, oh no, I'm going to provide for myself. I'm the person that's going to do that for me always. And that is healthy in a way, but in this situation, which we're talking about a mask, not so much. So what about the Divine Feminine here? What's going on with the Divine Feminine's mask? What is the mask she hides behind? She hides behind the Prince of Swords. The Prince of Swords here is the Knight of Swords. So she hides behind this hard exterior, okay? This hard exterior of, I'll cut you. This is for sure me. I'll just share that with you guys. I'm a pretty sensitive person, but if you piss me off, I'm going to totally jump into this major crazy person and cut anybody that gets in my way. And so I speak things sometimes without thinking about how it's going to affect others. So this could be for some of you divine feminines out there that you hide behind this exterior as of, you know what, you may say things that are very hurtful. You may just say things just to attack. You may just charge forth with your ideas or be very hard. That's what that's what the swords energy is somebody who's very logical and practical, and somebody who might seem a little cutting. And so it might seem like they don't have a lot of care with what they're saying or how they're delivering it to you. So some of the divine feminines could find themselves feeling very on attack. They could want to retaliate with people that have hurt them. They may say things that are hurtful that they don't really mean, but it just kind of comes out because they're coming from a place of they're tired of being shit on, etc. So that's what I'm seeing here is the mask that the divine feminine may be hiding behind is that she is harder than she really is, that she is really deep down inside she's a softie, but she has to put up this hard exterior so that way she can protect herself, is what's coming through. What about for the union? What's the mask of the union? The mask of the union is the 10 of Hazards, which is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so I think that's really interesting because the 10 of Pentacles here, with it being a mask that the union is hiding behind, the mask of the union is that there is, this happy family, actually, this great connection. Now, it doesn't mean there's not this great connection, and it doesn't mean that there's not potential of this great connection or to have everything in the material world. But I believe that the reason why it's coming up as the mask that people hide behind is because I feel that maybe one or both the divine feminine or masculine, they see this projected future with their partner, and so they use this as something that, well, this is so, and to me, I'm sorry, I've got to do this from a divine feminine's point of view because this is just something that I think, I've heard a lot of. We see the potential with our divine masculine, so we put to the wayside some of the flaws. We just kind of deal with the bullshit, and yes, we're taught as twin flames, and I'm not going against this, but we're taught as twin flames to just continue to send positive light and energy and all this other stuff. And then while our divine masculine, which maybe he's not even a divine masculine, maybe he's just a karmic, but we feel like it's twin flame, maybe it's not, who knows, it doesn't matter. But we're just like, well, we keep sending this healing, loving light, and yes, this guy just keeps screwing me over, okay? So we hide behind the potential. We hide behind the dream of the family. We hide behind, this is the person that I want to have a life with. This is a person that I want to have children with, etc. So that's what I'm getting from this, is that because this is coming up as the mask, sometimes this can cloud people's judgment as to what's really going on here, what they really should be doing or how they should be handling their situation. Maybe they shouldn't let their divine masculine continue to get away with murder or continue to be an asshole or continue to act in these ways. Maybe it's time for them to take control and say, hey, I'm not going to allow this person to do this with me anymore. Even though we're twin flames and even though this is a beautiful dream, I'm going to put my guard up and say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to allow this person to treat me this way. Nobody should treat me this way. Even if there's this potential, I'm not going to allow somebody to treat me this way. So what I'm seeing here for some of you is that this could be a little bit of a crutch, as in you use this as a way to say, well, I have this dream and this potential. I feel it. I know it. This is everything that I want. This is everything that Spirit's telling me. But it actually hinders you in the long run because it takes away your logical self, which is basically telling you, you know what, this doesn't feel right. The abuse or the disrespect that I'm enduring right now, it's not right. So if he's a twin flame, it doesn't make it okay. Again, I'm not here to promote anybody cutting their twin flame out of their life or not dealing with their twin flame anymore. That's not what I'm saying. But I believe that's why it's coming up as a mask, is because some of us can get so hit, like we can get so lost with this energy of 10 of Hazards, which is this amazing potential that we forget that we still need to actually take care of ourselves and respect ourselves. There are limits. I don't give a shit if it's twin flame or not. There's still limits with how people can treat you and what they can do to you. And you only allow it to happen to you. No one's really doing anything that you don't allow them to do to you. So it's about taking better care of yourself. But this card coming up as the mask that you hide behind, hey, sometimes maybe that's telling you that might be the role that you need to play in this situation. When you have this person who just kind of seems to be just worrying about themselves. They're very much in that 9 energy, which is I'm worrying about my dreams. I'm worrying about how I feel in a situation. I'm not really thinking about how you feel in a situation. So please just take those messages as they resonate. So let's go ahead and go forth with the ghost, which is something that haunts you from your past. What haunts the divine masculine from his past? I feel like I'm going to have to iron these cards. They're real sideways. What haunts the divine masculine from his past? The 9 of coins. Wow. Huh. Another 9. Very interesting. I had a bunch of 9s come up yesterday too. There must be a reason for it. But anyways, the 9 of coins here again is somebody who is very fond of being single. They are quite content and quite happy to be on their own, making their money, concentrating on their goals. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that either. So I don't want to put that in a negative sense. But since we are talking about something that haunts you from your past, what I am getting from this for the divine masculine is that some of them may be so content in this energy that they cannot break out of that pattern of actually now trying to combine their energies with somebody else. Companionship. Some of them it may be so foreign to them that they're so used to being alone, or they're so used to be just taking care of themselves that they can't let anybody in now because they're so used to caring for themselves. It's not comfortable for them to let anybody else in or be vulnerable to allow somebody else to come in and nurture them. So I'm just seeing that this is a wall for the divine masculine, which is why it's coming up as a ghost that haunts you from your past. It could also be a ghost that haunts some from their past. Some of your divine masculines may have grown up in poverty. And so basically being that person that's taking total control of their lives financially, taking care of themselves, they are going to be damned if they're going to let themselves end up like how they were in their childhood. That could be it as well. So this could be why they're now solely concentrated on this, and it seems to be lacking in the department now of emotion. Okay, so same thing for the divine feminine. What haunts her from her past? The daughter of knives. Wow. So for some of you, you may straight up be haunted by an actual person. Okay. This is a page of swords here. This could be, it's interesting because this actually came up a lot in the karmic relationships readings that I had done in the past. This daughter of knives or queen of knives would always come up, which is the karmic partner. And that doesn't mean it had to be an air sign, but for some of you, it could be that there's an actual air sign from your past that haunts you. This could be the person that is with your divine masculine right now. This could be just someone from your past who you were in the past. Maybe you've said a lot of things in your past, so now this is haunting you because you very prematurely or immaturely dealt with a situation when it came to communicating or taking some sort of action, and it came across as very attacking. So you could be really being haunted right now by your behavior from the past, or a particular person from the past that has caused you trouble. Okay, so what about the union energy for the past? What haunts somebody from the past from the union is a page of cups. This could be a Pisces. That's what a page of cups is, but it doesn't have to be. But the thing is, the union, the page is all about, talking about your emotions and talking about your feelings. So what I'm getting here is conversations about your connection. So this is you and your divine masculine having a conversation about how you feel about one another, or words that were spoken when it came to feelings. These feelings, though, with the Page of Cups are premature, as in somebody may speak them but not be able to back those words up. Maybe they felt those things, but they prematurely express them when they cannot match up their actions. They're not ready for a commitment. They're not ready to they're not ready to take action on their words. And so because of it, it haunts them, and it also haunts their divine feminine when it comes to the union. That's very interesting. I actually know people very personally and identify with this energy. This can really haunt a person. Things that your divine masculine has said to you, which were just so amazing, so kind. You're just like, how could someone say this to me? Knowing that there's this amazing connection and then now turn their back on me. Now they're either with somebody else or I haven't heard from them in X amount of years. How can someone say these things that are so meaningful, that are so deep? How can someone say this and, again, turn their back and be done? It's baffling. So I'm not surprised that this card is coming up from something that haunts people from the past. Absolutely. Absolutely resonating with this 100%. So that is that. Now we're going on into the devil. This is the addictive and obsessive behaviors of the divine masculine. Obsessive and addictive behaviors from the divine masculine. 9 of Wands. You guys, this is no frickin' joke. Again, you guys saw this reading. If you did yesterday, all these 9s came up. 4 of them to be exact. Are you frickin' kidding me right now? So maybe those 9s had to do with the divine masculine. I don't know. Anyways, the 9 of Wands here. So this has to do with addictive behaviors or obsessive behaviors. The 9 of Wands is a card of stress. This is a card of perseverance. To me, this is victim mentality as well, because this is somebody who's like a martyr. Like, oh my gosh, I've worked so hard. I've done so much for others. And then what do I get? Nothing, just grief. This here could be an addictive behavior for some of the divine masculines, as in they're so busy in this kind of attitude of, oh, I've got all this to do, I've got all this stress, I'm barely hanging in there by a thread, etc., etc. Some of them could be addicted to the dysfunction of constantly putting themselves in these situations where their needs aren't really getting met. They're just persevering. To me, it's very much like the Hierophant card, where somebody's in a relationship and it's just kind of conventional, not really a lot of deep love there. Doesn't always mean that with the Hierophant, by the way, but sometimes I read it that way. It's kind of like being in a situation that's loveless. You're just with somebody, and so you're just kind of like, you're just getting through the day. You're just in survival mode. I know that there's divine masculines out there that are in these karmic relationships that they're with people that they don't even love. They're with people they don't even want to be with, but yet they take on the burden because they have to, or there's a child involved, or whatever the fuck the thing is, whatever the deal is. That's the energy. So that is coming across as addictive and obsessive behavior, but that's their own doing. They can get out of it if they want to. The next card is the 10 of Wands. They can drop all those sticks and walk the fuck out if they want to. But the thing is, they're doing it to themselves, so they keep themselves stuck. And it's their own doing with that 9. Very personal choice in that. So let's see for the divine feminine. What is something obsessive and addictive for her? The Star. Wow. Okay, so the Star is a beautiful card for me, so it's really hard to talk about it in a negative way. But what I'm actually getting here is that I got to go with what comes into my mind immediately, because that's spirit's channeling information to me. What I'm getting here is that an addictive behavior for the divine feminine could be that she is looking to the stars constantly, as in possibly, either readings or signs or whatever. And some of those, yes, can be very good. Some of those things can be very helpful. But if it becomes addictive, or she becomes obsessed with signs, or she becomes obsessed with checking readings. I've heard this with people before. I've listened to way too many readings. I'm confused. They're all conflicting. Yeah, because you're checking too many energies. You're trying to get a bunch of information. You're trying to get answers within 100 people. And when you do that, there's bound to be confusion. So what I'm getting here is that what is blocked for her right now, it's not really a block, but what she is addicted to or obsessive with is signs. She's addicted to maybe just the spiritual connection. The Star does represent spiritual connections. Maybe she's addicted to the spiritual connection between her and her divine masculine. She feels it on every level. It's amazing. It's wonderful. And yes, it is, but maybe she has become addicted to it, as in, I feel this amazing connection, so I don't feel this with anybody else, so this is the only person for me. But then that keeps her from moving forward or having other experiences with people, because now she's closing herself off to it, especially if her divine masculine isn't even awakened or doesn't want to be with her at this time. So it becomes more of of an addiction, an obsession. It's not good. But I'm really getting that with the star, though, as in checking in on the energies, such as readings. Some people can become obsessed with readings, as in, and I'm not talking about somebody who just wants to do a checkup on the energy. That's fantastic. You want to get a reading? There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about the person that's like obsessively every day looking at YouTube over and over and over again, and they are just trying to find some kind of meaning as to what's going on with their divine masculine. That can become an obsessive and addictive behavior. Okay. And then she loses hope and faith in the whole entire process, and then feels that it's the universe that's, against her, or God is now against her. And that leads her even further away from just everything that was naturally intended. So it actually becomes a major problem. The Chariot. So to me here, the addictive and obsessive behavior, the Chariot. To me, the Chariot, yes, of course, it's about moving forward, but it's also a card where it's about choices. It doesn't really depict it that great in this card, because usually it shows a man on a chariot who is in charge of a black horse and a white horse. And so it's like opposing energies, dark forces, positive forces, somebody who kind of has to find their own way, or they have to balance out those energies in order to continue to move forward. So to me, that is what the obsessive and addictive behaviors is about moving forward. How do I move forward? I feel this, I want to move forward with this. I don't want to stay stuck, etc. So it becomes an addiction on, is this thing going to happen? When's it going to happen, etc. To me, it's about checking in on the energy, or needing obsessively for this to go somewhere. The answer sometimes may be that it's just not moving forward right now, that it might take time. So it becomes obsessive sometimes for people to kind of need to know, is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? It becomes obsessive. It becomes addictive to try to figure this out, how it's going to happen and how it's going to move forward, or is it meant to be? That also becomes an obsessive and addictive behavior. So it blocks people, really, okay? So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Vampire, something you feed on. So this is something that the divine masculine feeds on. Something he feeds on. The Page of Wands. Okay, so this could be a particular person that he is feeding on right now. This could just be an actual energy. The pages are ideas. The pages are, things that we're thinking about rolling around in our minds, ideas, concepts, new beginnings of things. The wands is our energy of passion, our creativity, what we want to do moving forward. So what he feeds on, it could be his creativity. It could be his passions in life. It could be his ideas. This could be a divine masculine who's constantly thinking but not doing. And so what feeds him are his ideas, are his big dreams, is what I'm getting here. Okay, but it could come into the form of a person. This could be a person that's younger than him. This could be a fire sign person, but it doesn't have to be. But this could just be somebody who he feeds on as far as to make himself feel great or feel better. It could just be somebody who is not real emotionally invested or connected to. It could be his current partner, current karmic partner, who he basically just has a physical connection with. So that's what he feeds on right now. He just feeds on the actual sexual connection, really than anything else. It could just be sex and not anything deep or emotional. So he feeds on it. It works for him for now. And this is like I said, the page is just, it's not a queen. It's not a king. It's not somebody who's real developed. So, okay, so what does the divine feminine feed on? She feeds on death. Wow, why would someone want to feed on death? So, what I'm getting here, this could be that this is an actual Scorpio. For some divine feminines out there, you feed on a Scorpio. But this could also be that indication that what you feed on is you feed on the need for transformation. You feed on the need to basically transform your situation and transform your life. So this doesn't have to be a negative. Just because you feed on something, it doesn't mean it has to be a negative. You could just feed on the death of a situation, as in maybe the death of a situation, this obsessive thinking of something is over. You feed on that. Sometimes people negatively feed themselves. It nourishes them in some way. Maybe some of you need to feel like something is over, and so that nourishes you, it feeds you, etc. But really what I'm getting from this card more than anything is that it's either a Scorpio that you're feeding on, or you are feeding on transformation, as in you would like something to end. You would like to better yourself from this situation. You would rather grow from this than anything else is what I'm getting here. So that's, to me, it's more of a positive than a negative, unless you're feeding on a Scorpio and it's toxic. I'm just going to draw one card for this. Okay, so this is the energy. I don't know. Did I do it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be for something that the union feeds on. Something the union feeds on. Seven of Cups. Wow. The Seven of Cups, as we know, it already came up for the Divine Feminine, has to do with fantasy. So the union actually feeds on the fantasy. And fantasy, when I say that, it doesn't always have to be a negative, okay? Fantasy really is very, very great when it comes to ideas and creativity and, writing and inspiration and all that other stuff. It's great when it comes to people that are, wanting or sharing some kind of an exchange. Whether that's sexual, whether it's romantic, whatever it is, fantasy comes into play and it can be a beautiful thing. But for this here, something that the union feeds on, I believe that what the union feeds on probably is the 5D energy. And the 5D energy really seems like a fantasy when we're talking about 3D, because it seems so far-fetched. It seems like, yeah, right. How can this person that's treating me like shit or doesn't want anything to do with me in the 3D, how could this person really be, and love me in the 5D? How could we really still be connected in the 5D, et cetera, et cetera? So I think that what helps to feed this connection is people being connected or feeling that connection that's from 5D. That's just what's coming through. And for some reason, that was the only message that it came through with, okay? Now we're going into the black cat karma. And I hate saying that the black cat is karma because I have a black cat and he's really lucky. So I don't think that it has to do with, well, karma doesn't always have to be bad, but anyways, karma for the divine masculine. Karma for the divine masculine. I'm taking this one. The Hermit, another 9, you guys. It's not an accident. I don't know. It's not an accident. The karma for the, okay, what I am getting from this, the karma, this has something to do with a past life for some of them, okay? Some of them may have just been in this very hermity energy, which is they're bringing it over from another lifetime. So they're very comfortable being alone. And so it works as a negative for them being alone. And so some of you might feel like, your divine masculine, he's very disconnected from you. He's quite content to be alone or single or whatever the situation is, or he's always emotionally pulled away from you. This could be because it's from the past, okay? But the Hermit doesn't always have to be a negative. This is a very spiritual being, as in this could be karma as far as he is meant to in this lifetime. This could have started in a previous lifetime to go within, to go into a state of solitude, so away from his divine feminine. He could have done something to his divine feminine, and so this is enforced on him, as in he now goes into a state of solitude to learn his lesson, to learn the error of his ways, to try to spiritually and emotionally grow now from the situation that he has caused. So what I'm seeing here is a state of solitude for somebody that whenever they do things, they are now in a state of solitude, really trying to have to go into deep reflection mode in order to figure it out and grow. And hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. Divine feminine karma. The 5 of skulls. 5 of pentacles, you guys. Ew. So the part of the karma for the divine feminine is just feeling shut out in the cold. I know specifically that there's definitely some divine feminines out there that do feel this energy, and it's from a past, as in this has been with them for quite some time. These same themes have played out over and over again with their divine masculine in previous lifetimes, and so they still bring this into this lifetime. They're still feeling shut out. They're still feeling rejected. They're still feeling like an outsider, okay? So that's what I'm feeling here for the divine feminine. Now, some of this may not have anything to do with her divine masculine at all. This just could be in general for her, as in karma that she brings into this life, as in there's this feeling where she feels like she doesn't belong. She feels like an outsider. She feels like an outcast. She constantly feels rejected. This could be something from her past or even her childhood in this lifetime that she still carries around with her. And so if you're seeing these dynamics play out for you, or these themes continuously playing out for you in this lifetime, there may be a reason for it. So it may be time to check into maybe past life regression, or check into childhood memories and possibly start to get some counseling on that. But whatever it is, it's definitely a negative. It's a negative. And when we always feel like an outsider, we seem to create these situations for us moving forward in every single thing that we do. I'm a testament of that. I'm going to tell you guys right now. There are so many things that I've created over and over again. I'm just like, at some point, I can't be a victim. I have to be the cause of the shit. And so it's really caused me to examine deeply, and not just because I've examined them deeply has it been fixed, but it's a work in progress, okay? We got to start somewhere. Okay. So I think it's very interesting that we have somebody who's alone and somebody who feels rejected. Karma. So for some of you, this could be a part of just your past life with your divine masculine, okay? Or the karma that you guys have created in this lifetime. So now he's alone and you're feeling like an outsider. This is a karmic situation or karmic cycle. Yes, we can have karma with our twin flames. So just because I said karma doesn't mean that your twin flame is suddenly now a karmic partner, okay? Don't take it like that. Okay. The union karma. The Three of Wands. So this is definitely something that has been created on both sides. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not just one person doing something to the other, and this is what happens. Everybody's involved here. Everybody's responsible. It was a group effort, okay? So this doesn't mean that the divine masculine or divine feminine did something to the divine masculine, except, and they both equally hurt each other. I'm not really seeing it in that way. What I'm seeing here is that everybody participated, as in you're not a victim. Nobody can do anything to you unless you allow them to do it to you. So everybody's responsible for what has happened here, whether it's in this life or a previous life. You guys have more control than you realize. And so it's about taking responsibility for one's own feelings and one's own actions, owning it, and trying to fix it to better the situation. So that way you guys don't have to continuously create this over and over and over again, is what I'm seeing here. Now let's go into the witch, which is manipulation. And I don't even know why it's named like that, like witches manipulating. I mean, the thing is, manipulation could be, you can manipulate something as in, you can create something in a positive way. So the word manipulation just sounds negative, but this is manipulation. This could be in ways that the divine masculine manipulates others or is being manipulated. Let's see what it looks like. Five of Coins. You guys just got that. Just got that in the karma. Very interesting. The way he manipulates, I'm seeing that the way that he manipulates is he just kind of, I'm actually getting two, but one's more than the other. The very first meaning that I'm getting for this is that the divine masculine, the way that he manipulates others is basically by tossing them out in the cold, by closing them out, by ghosting them, by just being done with somebody, shutting them out in the cold, shoving them out with not a second thought. That's a form of manipulation. That is a form of manipulation, and that's what people do when they truly don't want to deal with the error of their ways. So that's what happens. They don't care how it affects other people because they're too busy trying to tend to how they feel in situations. But I'm also seeing that some of them may manipulate others by acting like they're a victim. So some of you divine feminines out there that are listening to your divine masculines telling you, I'm just in this situation that I can't get out of, boo hoo hoo, woe is me. Some of it may be true, but some of it may not be true. They may be playing on your heartstrings. Sorry to say. But that's just kind of coming through. Seeing more for the first, though. Oh, shoot. See what happens when I try to back shuffle my cards and do the bridge. They fly all over the place. And this isn't the card deck to do it with because they're too slippery. Sorry about that, you guys. Hold on. Yeah, I love these cards, but the cardstock on them is just very, very flimsy. And why am I back shuffling them again, doing a bridge? I have no idea. Okay. Alrighty, so this is going to be manipulation for the divine feminine here. Manipulation, 9 of Scepters, which is the 9 of Wands energy here. I think it's very interesting that we're getting some matches because the Divine Masculine already had the 9 of Wands. So I do see some mirrors coming up here. So the 9 of Scepters really is telling us for the Divine Feminine how she manipulates or how she's being manipulated. What I'm really getting though is that this has to do with being a martyr. This has to do with a victim mentality. So she manipulates not only herself, but she manipulates others around her, as in, you know, I'm so sad. You know, and the thing is, some people do things and they don't even realize that they're doing it. They don't. They might not mean to do it, but that's just basically what ends up happening. Sometimes people get so addicted to being miserable and having people just feel sorry for them that they kind of stay in this martyr type of attitude, which is, I've done so much for this person. Can you believe that they're doing that to me? And yes, of course, sometimes that is the way that we truly feel, but it's a victim mentality. And again, nobody can do anything to you unless you allow them to do it to you. And I'm not saying that in every single situation. I am very aware that there are things that happen to people and they are straight up victims. That's not the kind of things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way people treat you, as in, if somebody treats you like shit and you let them treat you like shit and then they continue to treat you like shit, that's your own decision. That is your own decision. Okay, I'm not talking about other things. So please don't take that out of context. So 9 of Scepters is just really saying that the Divine Feminine here could like to be in that victim mentality. She could like to be in that role of, I've done so much for you and this is how you repay me. That's negative. It's not good. So that's her manipulation tool. Her manipulation tool, maybe even dealing with her Divine Masculine. I've done so much for you. How could you do this to me? It's a manipulation. So yeah, that's just definitely coming up. Now let's go ahead and go into the union. Manipulation of the union. 10 of, what is that? Oh, 2 of Wands. The manipulation of the union, I'm seeing here that they're both doing it. It's not just one of them that's doing it. They're both doing it. They both manipulate each other this way. One of them manipulates by being the martyr and the victim, and the other one manipulates by being the, what's the word I'm looking for? By being the person that throws them out in the cold. One's the victim, and the other one is the, I don't know why I can't think of the words. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, they both do it. This is the role that they play together. It takes 2 is what I'm getting here. Very interesting. All right, bat, which is something you keep hidden. What does the Divine Masculine keep hidden? Six of Swords. What the Divine Masculine keeps hidden. This is interesting. The 6 of Swords here is a card of distance to me. It is a card where somebody is, because they're at a distance, they're actually able to keep something hidden from you. So these are for Divine Feminines that are not in contact with their Divine Masculines right now, that are at a distance. You're either actually at a distance over water, or you're just not in the same city, country, whatever, state, or that you're just in separation. But because of the distance, they have an ability to hide more from you. So what is it that they're hiding? What is something that they're keeping hidden? The 10 of Swords. Wow. Okay, so the 10 of Swords here is this energy of something based. It's a card where people feel betrayed. It's the end of a situation. It's basically like the death card, really. But it comes with a lot more pain than the death. This is the card usually where we see a guy who's laying on the ground and he has 10 swords in his back. He's literally been stabbed in the back. He's been betrayed. So what I'm seeing here with the 6 of Swords and the 10 of Swords is because you guys are at a distance, but even if they're not at a distance, so eliminate this card. If you're not at a distance, eliminate that card altogether. Then just go with the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords really, actually, and you know what? No. I got to do with what I'm drawn to do. So I'm talking to 2 different sets of people here, so take how it resonates. This has to do with the people that are at a distance. What about the people that are not? They could be in separation, but it might not be because of the distance that they're hiding something. 4 of Coins. Okay. Okay, so what I'm actually seeing here is that some of the Divine Masculines at this time, for the people that this doesn't apply to, could just be hiding from their divine feminines, or just hiding from the world in general, how they are really struggling as far as like they're either not doing well financially, or they are not willing to let go of certain things. So they could be telling you that they want to let go of certain things, but they're not letting it go because they have a fear. So I'm seeing that they're hiding from you a fear of losing something, or a fear of letting go of money, or a fear of letting go of property, etc. So they're not telling you that, but that's what they're afraid of. And I know personally, like when I'm thinking about it right now, there's plenty of clients that I've done readings for that are really the divine masculine, might be in a karmic partner relationship or even a marriage, and they're not happy in that marriage, yet they don't leave. And the reason why is because they are afraid to have to, give that spouse or whatever, that spousal support or that child support. It's like that's the one thing that keeps them from moving forward with their life. It really sucks that that's what it boils down to, but that's what it is. So they may not be forthright in telling you that that's what they're doing, but that's possibly what they are hiding from you, is that the money of the situation, or their foundation as in I don't want to lose my home, could be a big factor. So it's not necessarily that they don't want to be with you, but they're tied up in the material world of things that they don't want to let go of. For the people that are at a distance here, the 10 of Swords, what I'm seeing here is that at a distance, you might not realize that a situation is already over, that they're no longer with that karmic person or that karmic partner, or that they, in fact, were the ones that betrayed a karmic or betrayed somebody, etc. So because of the distance, it's almost like there is this completion that is taking place for this person, or they want something to end, but you don't know about it because it's this distance that keeps the two of you from understanding or knowing what's going on with this person. So for some of you, they could have ended a situation, or somebody could have ended a situation with them, but unfortunately you don't know about it because you're not speaking, or unfortunately you don't know about it because you're at a distance, or whatever the situation may be. They may just be in this energy right now, and because you guys are at a distance, you're not speaking, you just have no idea what's going on with them. So what's being kept from you, or what's hidden at this time, or what they don't want people to know, is that some major shit is going on in their life. Major shit. And maybe why would you post it on social media? I mean, I'm sure some people do. There are people that do, for some reason, post their tragedies on social media. And some people do it because they need, people need to know things. I get that. But some people just put it out there because they want sympathy or attention or whatever the fuck the deal is. But I'm getting completely the opposite, as in this person is not wanting other people to know that there is some kind of major crisis or major ending going on for them. So that's a message coming through of what's being hidden from some of you. And then we'll do the Union. Something you keep hidden about the Union. The Knight of Wands, passion. Some of you have passion for your divine masculine, or they have that passion for their divine feminine, and it's being hidden. It's being hidden from you, it's being hidden from them, or it's being hidden from the partner that they're with, plain and simple. Okay, last one, werewolf transformation. This is what transformation, this is what it would take for transformation for the divine masculine. Six of Coins. It's about give and take, man. I'm telling you, I'm feeling this on every level. This Six of Coins, really, it's about things are not balanced right now with you or them, or in a situation. You're not getting what you need from them, or they're just not able to give to you right now. So that's what really would transform the situation for them, is if they can get themselves out of a situation where they can't properly give to this relationship with you because they're with somebody else, or maybe they're financially not feeling good enough, or, so they need to do the work in order to become more financially stable, or they feel better about themselves so they can come forward to you. So that needs to be eliminated, as in that needs to be changed. The scales have to be balanced, and this person needs to feel better about themselves financially so that they can give something, or they have something to offer now, the situation now. It's not just about money. This is about equal give and take. So time-wise, if they can't give to this relationship because they're with somebody else, obviously it's not going to work. Obviously, that has to be changed. That energy has to be transformed. It needs to be where people are ready to give. That makes total sense. Divine Feminine. This needs to change. The Four of Swords. Okay, so the Four of Swords, as we know, is a card, and this actually already came up in the reading. The Four of Swords has to change, as in this is a card here where a divine feminine, she has withdrawn. She has withdrawn from the world. So I think that for some divine feminines, they've either been in such dark space or they've been in such a funk or depression or whatever it is. They got to get amongst the living again, period. Okay? This isn't just about her divine masculine either. This is just about herself. This is how she's going to need to transform her situation. She needs to get out of her house. She needs to get off of either the couch, or she needs to get out of her depression or her funk or whatever it is. She's got to get out into the world again. She's got to be amongst the living in order for her life to carry on. Okay? That's just what's coming up. And union. For some reason, these two came up, so we're going to go ahead and take them. Death. When we're talking about transformation and the death card comes up, I'm sorry, it doesn't get better than that, but we have the strength card here. So what is really needed in regards to transforming this relationship? People got to end situations that they're in. They got to be done. They have to have the strength and courage in order to end certain cycles for themselves. It could just be that the divine feminine needs the courage in order to end this cycle, as far as the way that things have been going for so long, the way that she's been dealing with her issues for a while, or the way that she's been looking or thinking or just feeling towards her divine masculine. Something has to change. People need strength and courage in order to be able to end a negative cycle, to move forward, to transform it. Now, death doesn't mean it has to end between the divine masculine and the feminine, but if they want it to be transformed, which is what this 10, which is the werewolf, this is the situation of transformation. Some kind of death needs to be occurred. Some kind of an ending of a cycle needs to occur here. People need to change things in a drastic way. Drastic measures need to be taken. Sitting back and meditating in 5D, I'm sorry, it's not going to change your situation. That is just my opinion. So you got to take some kind of strength, actual physical movement in the 3D world, and start doing something, because this energy, it's just not going to transform the situation. It's great to stay in 5D. It's great to, dream, and it feels good to send your divine masculine, healing, loving light, etc. But for some of you, you're literally just drowning in that energy of the Four of Swords, to where your life is on hold. Your life is just not moving forward in a positive direction. You can continue to stay connected to your divine masculine, but you've got to lend yourself some strength. You've got to end cycles. And this goes for the divine masculine too. He's got to get rid of things. If he's telling you he loves you and he's telling you you're the one for me, but he still continues to stay in that other situation, you know what? Everybody's got decisions that they have to make. They really do. They need to find the strength within themselves to carry on. They might need to cut off this situation for the time being until they can get it together, until they can feel like they're in a better place. Because sometimes staying stuck within a lover's triangle is not the answer. It's just going to continuously keep you down. And I know that there's a lot of people that are stuck in those situations right now, which is why I feel compelled to say it. But anyways, everything that came up through here today was either channeled energy or just my opinion. So please take the messages as they resonate. I am by no means telling anybody to, tell their divine masculine to kick rocks or whatever. You guys have to make your own decisions. This is just meant to inspire, spiritual growth and changes within yourself by taking a look at the darker aspects of things, which are our shadow selves, which we do have to honor, as well as the light. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, thanks for watching.